The arena lights of Karth Prime burned white against the night sky. 50,000 beings filled the rising tiers of the grand concourse. Scales shimmered. Chitin plates clicked. Soft, translucent bodies pulsed in slow waves of color. In the center stood the champion. Gorvax of the Thrall was 8 feet tall and built like a siege engine. His skin looked carved from dark stone. 4 arms hung at his sides. Each hand ended in thick fingers wrapped in combat tape. Across his chest ran a lattice of old scars. Not one of them had been made in the arena. The announcer's voice rolled across the concourse. 47 sanctioned bouts. 47 victories. 0 recorded strikes landed against him. The crowd thundered in approval. They said no one had ever hit him. A pause. Until tonight. A smaller figure stepped through the entry gate. Elias Ward did not look impressive. He was human. 5 feet 11, lean, dark hair cut short. He wore plain black trunks and simple gloves. No armor, no implants, no visible augment, just tape around his wrists and calm eyes. A ripple of amusement moved through the stands. The Thrall ambassador leaned toward the human delegation box and spoke with polite cruelty. We requested a demonstration, not a sacrifice. The human ambassador only smiled. You asked for our best. Gorvax looked down at Elias as if examining a strange tool. You understand, Gorvax said in thick, accented trade, that I do not fall. Elias rolled his shoulders once. You understand that you can. The referee drone hovered between them and projected the rules in blue light. Striking only. No weapons. No killing blows. Victory by submission, knockout, or ring out. Gorvax spread his forearms wide. The signal tone chimed. Gorvax moved first. To most species, the Thrall were impossibly fast for their size. Gorvax crossed the distance in one explosive step and swung a right hook that could dent starship hull plating. Elias was not there. Gasps scattered through the arena. Elias had slipped inside the arc of the punch before it finished forming. His body rotated low and tight. His fist snapped forward. A clean shot to the lower left abdomen where the armor plates overlapped. The sound was sharp, not loud, precise. Gorvax blinked. He had never been struck before. Sparring partners quit. Opponents fled. Most were unconscious before they could even reach him. He looked down. Elias was already moving. A straight right to the solar nerve cluster beneath the sternum. Not brute force. Perfect placement. Gorvax's breath hitched. The crowd fell silent. 3. A left hook to the floating rib seam. Elias pivoted and shifted weight like water pouring around stone. Gorvax tried to grab him with 2 arms at once. Elias ducked under and stepped to the outside. 4. An uppercut that cracked against the underside of Gorvax's jaw. The champion's head snapped back. 50,000 beings forgot how to make noise. Gorvax roared and slammed both forward fists down where Elias had been standing. The floor shattered. Elias had already slid out. His footwork drew a tight circle around the giant. Always just outside reach. Always at an angle. Gorvax swung again and again. Massive blows that would have ended the match in a single connection. Nothing landed. Ilias's eyes never left the Thrall's center line. He read muscle tension before movement. He read breath before commitment. He moved not after attacks began, but before they existed. Gorvax felt something new, confusion, Elias stepped in one more time. 5. A short cross to the same nerve cluster as before. The exact same point, layering damage. Gorvax staggered. The sound that left the audience was not a cheer. It was disbelief. They said no one had ever hit him, the announcer whispered. And the human landed 5 before he even realized the fight began. Gorvax's vision swam. Pain radiated through his core. Not crushing. Not catastrophic. Surgical. You are small, Gorvax growled. Elias nodded. Yes, Gorvax lunged with all 4 arms in a crushing cage. Elias stepped forward instead of back. The move shocked even the human delegation. He slipped between 2 incoming arms, letting one graze his shoulder. He accepted the smallest possible contact to create space. Then he went to work. A rapid combination unfolded. Body, body, jaw, body, liver seam, sternum. Each strike had purpose. No wasted motion. No wild swings. His breathing stayed steady. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Gorvax tried to track him, but the human never stayed on the same line twice. He cut angles that did not exist in Threll combat doctrine. He fought in tight quarters where 4 arms became liabilities. Another hook snapped Gorvax's head sideways. For the first time in his career, the champion stepped backward. The arena erupted. Gorvax roared in fury and slammed his foot down. The shockwave rippled across the platform. Elias jumped with it, used the rising motion to add force. A right hand crashed into the Threll's jaw hinge. A fracture line appeared across one stone-like cheekplate. Gorvax dropped to one knee. Silence fell heavy and stunned. The referee drone hovered closer, scanning vitals. Gorvax forced himself upright. Pride burned hotter than pain. You study us, he said, breathing hard. Elias gave a small nod. We study everyone. Why? Because we are rarely the biggest thing in the room. Gorvax swung again. Slower now, desperate. Elias slipped outside and answered with another precise cross to the nerve cluster. Gorvax's legs gave out. The giant crashed onto his back. The platform trembled. The referee drone began the count. 1, 2. Gorvax tried to rise. His core muscles spasmed from accumulated trauma. 3, 4. Elias stood a respectful distance away. Guard up, ready in case the Titan surged again. 5, 6. Gorvax's arms trembled. He pushed. He reached one knee. His vision blurred. 7. He looked up at the human, not with hatred, with realization. You are not stronger, Gorvax said quietly. No, Elias agreed. 8. You are not larger. No. 9. You are. Precise. Elias lowered his glove slightly. We have to be. 10. The tone sounded. Match complete. For a full second, nothing happened. Then the grand concourse exploded in sound so loud it shook orbital satellites. Shock turned into awe. Awe turned into respect. The human delegation did not cheer wildly. They stood and applauded once, calm. Certain Gorvax remained seated on the platform as med drones approached. He waved them off. He looked at Elias and extended one massive hand. Elias stepped forward and shook it with both of his. You have given me a gift, Gorvax said. Elias tilted his head. A concussion. A rumble of laughter rolled through the Threll's chest. Perspective. He stood slowly. Pride wounded but not broken. They said no one had ever hit me, Gorvax announced to the arena. He lifted Ilias's glove high. Now they will say a human did. The crowd roared again. Not in mockery, in recognition. Across the concourse screens, replays looped. The 5 opening strikes played in slow motion. Analysts circled foot placement. Frame by frame, breakdowns filled the feeds. Other species leaned forward in their seats. Small, fragile, soft-skinned, and dangerous. In the delegation box, the Thrall ambassador spoke quietly. We misjudged your kind. The human ambassador nodded once. Most do. Below them, Elias stepped out of the arena lights. His shoulder bruised, knuckles swollen, heart steady. Reporters shouted questions. How did you move so fast? How did you break his guard? Were you afraid? Elias paused at the tunnel entrance. Yes, he said honestly. Then why step in there? He looked back at the arena where Gorvax still stood, receiving treatment and applause. Because sometimes the only way to be respected, Elias said, is to let them try to hit you. He disappeared into the corridor. Behind him, the legend of the undefeated giant had changed, not shattered, evolved. From that night forward, whenever warriors across Carth Prime boasted that no one had ever struck them, someone in the crowd would answer with a quiet reminder. They said that once about Gorvax. Then a human landed 5 before he even realized the fight began.